Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Arthur Torrington and I'm a director of Windrush Foundation. And today we have someone who was here last week, Professor Haroun Shah, and we spoke about the early days, and today we're going to speak about the 1980s. So Haroun, now tell us a lot about the 1980s. You got involved in Carnival in the UK in a big way.
Yes. In the 1980s, by this time, Notting Hill Carnival had been well established. And we started seeing more bands getting larger. There was much more frequency of interaction between Trinidad now and the steel bands here in the UK. People were coming up from Trinidad as well. Many of them came and stayed at my home self. But I still had not played pan on the road yet. I would join steel bands, mostly Nostalgia at that time. But I didn't really play on the road.
Why is that?
I hadn't played before that for about 15 years. And I felt I'd lost the confidence to actually come back on the road. It wasn't until I met up with Nostalgia again, as I said in the program last week, with Sterling Betancourt and Nostalgia people, the others that were there, when I came back to London. Out of necessity, I had to join the band. The band had broken up, Nostalgia at that time, and most of them had left to form a new band called Pan Nectar. Nostalgia was left with Sterling Betancourt and Lionel McCalman. So Sterling had called me and said to me that I would pick up very quickly. If I had played in the past, could I come along? And I joined, and I brought my two daughters at that time, who were in their teens, early teens.
To play as well? Or?
To play as well. They had never played pan before, but they played piano, they played music as well. And that first carnival, when Nostalgia was reformed, we would normally go out with about 40 to 50 people. We went with only 5 of us on the road for 2 days. Being such a small number, it was very difficult to actually take even a rest. We had to play non-stop throughout that period of time.
For how long?
About 10 hours.
10 hours?
10 hours on the road, yeah. Yes, we would leave about 10, 11 and get back about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Later than that, we've got back as late as midnight already in the past.
And that's playing all the time, no breaks?
No, we'd sometimes stop and take a little break, hold your pan, just leave it on the road and hold the pan, just because the pan is strapped around your neck. It's very
So there's no float sticking around then?
No, we tried to Nostalgia has always maintained the tradition of early pan, which is you carry it around your neck.
And you walk?
And we walk on the road, yes. And Pan Nectar, when they had reformed, they carried a rack on the road on wheels, and their pans were dropped into these racks. But Nostalgia has never done that. They've always
even until now?
Even until now, and it's still a surprise for our visitors who come from abroad to see that they come and we carry the pans around our neck.
That's hard work, yeah?
It is hard work. When Carnival is over, on the Tuesday and Wednesday, you dare not go to work. Your back is in so much pain. It's very painful. It's very hard to carry it for that length of time.
So how are you now on the board of Carnival, Carnival committees and so on? Are you involved in?
I have always seen myself as more a grassroots member of the Notting Hill Carnival. I avoided these things for many years. I basically saw myself playing pan on the road, being involved in all the practice. I really miss the practice. And, I have a full-time job as well, but I always made sure that the evenings of practice I finish in time to get down there. What I did do later on is that I felt that there was enough people at higher levels doing their jobs in Notting Hill Carnival. What I wanted to do was to take steel pan to the next level. I felt we had penetrated the schools.
And next level being
university. University.
You mean to be played at university?
Yes. I felt we had a strong foundation in schools, particularly in London, but in all the major cities, there's a steel band in primary schools. I felt that it was time to try and see whether we could take steps to get this into university. And so jumping some years ahead, around 2000, I remember looking at Nostalgia's members when we were on a trip abroad in Germany and realizing we were all teachers, lecturers at university like Lionel and myself. We had from primary school, secondary school teachers. We do a lot of workshops. We are in the right place to do this. And so we approached the University of East London, Lionel and myself, to the Vice Chancellor directly to ask him whether we can have the venue, the campus, to hold our first steel band conference.
A conference?
A conference,
so, okay.
Yeah. And that was, to my knowledge, we found out, we call it the first European steel band conference. But I haven't seen another one anywhere else in the world. How long ago
was that?
2006.
And six. So nothing has happened since?
We have held these biannually, every 2 years now. So we've kept them going, and the one this year in 2006.
Tell us a bit about the one that you're planning for this year.
Okay. So over the years, we've held these conferences biannually. They've been funded by the Arts Council. In all but one, we've succeeded in getting funding. At the present time, we've put in 2 applications already, and it hasn't been successful. So a 3rd attempt is in progress right now. And the aim of this one is to look towards the next generation. We feel that there has been a lot of media this year. It was because of the 70th anniversary of the Windrush Foundation and the generations that have come that have done so much amazing work to set things like the Notting Hill Carnival.
And have you said so in the application to the
Absolutely, yes.
Arts Council?
Yes. What I feel over the years is the youngsters, the children that grew up within the Windrush generation, are themselves very amazing carnival artists. Many of them play steel band at the best level, highest level. They are able to make mass, some are able to sing calypsos and so on. And many of these students now, youngsters, want to look towards a career in this field. And therefore this conference is aimed specifically at us trying to bring groups of people together to nurture them, to empower them, show them the pathways to some of these careers. And these careers would span as far away as photojournalism, carnival arts, to project management, to steel band, to training, education. There are now signs that this is being successful. Cambridge University now has its own steel band and will be participating.
How big is that band then?
They are about 50 people
strong. In one band?
They scattered in one band, yeah.
Very good.
Various colleges of the Cambridge University. They will be participating in this year's conference if we are successful. But outside of that, we are hoping, we are going through a period of time now where black youths are unfortunately being linked with high levels of crime and various incidents that seem to make the news regularly. And we feel it's a great opportunity to try and use this amazing instrument.
So how would you get the Windrush aspect involved in the conference this year? Let's hope that you get the funding.
Right. Well, what we hope would happen, we've organized these. We have, over the years now, developed this into a specific format. So we open up on a Friday night. It's in Black History Month, always in October. And we start with a Friday night concert. And that concert is all about the history in terms of song, in films. And this year we are hoping to attract Anne Friedel, who is a soprano singer as well, that also sing calypsos, to be involved in this. At that point, I am hoping that I can persuade you, Arthur,
yes, why not?
to come and give the youngsters here some history of the great work of their parents and the Windrush generation, and how this has evolved into what it is today. The second day is of the second concert is the following night at 7:30 till 10. And this too is being run with the Windrush in mind, but this from the point of view of the steel bands this time. So the first day is Calypso and Mass, the second day the steel band and the involvement.
What dates are we talking about? I mean, roughly?
We are 19th to the 21st of October. So the 19th Now, during the day, we have the normal conference. We have a session in the morning on Calypso, a session in the afternoon on mass and design, and all of the Sunday is devoted to Pan in the UK and abroad. And we're hoping to bring speakers from Trinidad, from Canada, from the US, as we've done in previous conferences.
And that's going to be held where?
At the Tabernacle.
Tabernacle.
So we have that, in addition to that, we have the Tabernacle events that carries the main conference, but specifically for the youth, we are running 2 workshops at the Yah Center on the 2 following weeks after the conference. And that would be driven by the youth themselves. They're designing the program. We're going to mentor them. We're going to bring in people that will help. And in the second of these conferences, we're hoping to widen the arena and bring in people that normally wouldn't be involved in PAN. We have a dementia group that we're working with that will be trained by some of these youngsters. They will also perform. But these are people in society that we feel have been left out. And we feel that this workshop can focus and let them see what has been achieved with another group and hopefully get their interest as well.
Now those are very good points. I hope that those points will convince the Arts Council to give you the money.
I hope so.
I mean, what more can you say?
I sincerely hope so. I feel that we have been, and we have developed this progressively through the years. It was through these conferences that you can now take a steel band graded examination like you can do with any conventional instrument. That was one of the outputs from our very first conference. We have led through the years, linking more into other institutions, looking at steel band into jazz, into other forms. I have one particular student at Middlesex University that wanted to read music and wanted specifically to do Pan, and he wrote to every university in the UK asking to get on this course and couldn't. Middlesex has accepted him. And now he is the only tenor Pan player there, but he's playing along with music. He's part of the orchestra. And we're going to use that particular starting point to now expand courses in music as opposed to just having a steel band taught. My dream aspirations are not just to be able to play Pan, but actually do research in this area. Once you start doing research into a particular area, I think it gives it a strong foundation that will last for the years to come.
Well, thank you very much, Haroun. Let's hope you get that money and get this conference going. Having lost, having not got it failed twice, let's hope that the third time lucky, it will happen. So thanks again, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
And we pass you back to Lavina.